makes my stomach big.
Makes my stomach look. How do we feel? For me, it's my stomach that makes my stomach look big. It's not the shirt.
It's all these extra bits.
So whenever you're ready.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Kate and Assad Do Business. Kate is still off this week, she's returning soon, but today we've got Assad, Louise and myself, James. And today we're talking about rewarding the team. And we're not talking about salary, we're talking about wider reward and recognition for the team. And this was actually a topic that I put forward because I wanted Assad to tell us a little bit about this. If you've seen the videos from Phase 3 in the past, and in particular the birthday videos, you've seen that there is a very, very social aspect to Phase 3, and I wanted Assad to tell us a little bit more about why you took that approach with rewarding the team in that way.
Okay. Firstly, really good topic, James. I think there's a couple of things. I think there's always going to be people in a business who only care about their income. Yeah, you're going to get that no matter what, because their personal situations might demand that, or they may just be greedy like that. It varies. So I get that. I'm not even saying that that's a wrong approach. I'm just saying it's not necessarily our approach. So we pay people, our team, a good salary. Could they get more elsewhere? Absolutely, they probably could. They definitely could. I'd go as far as saying. But as James alluded to, what we do differently is kind of the social aspect, the fun aspect, and the wider, I think, recognition aspect as well. It's not always about finances to us, and I think the social get-togethers, although limited, we're not that. I guess we're not that kind of age profile where we're out every Friday night for drinks or every night. Forget Friday. I'm certainly not. These two probably are. In fact, these two do it quite often when they're together.
We don't get a chance.
Let's just get that out on camera. These two are you'll always find them swinging away somewhere. We like to engage our team, or I like to engage our team in wider aspects of recognition. That could be just a pat on the back, to say
A thank you.
Exactly, a thank you. You've done a brilliant job there, Louise. You've done a great job, James. I've worked in companies where you don't even get that. You'll work your fingers to the bone, and you won't get any kind of recognition either from your manager, from whoever, your colleagues, because it's just expected. Oh, you're getting paid for it. You're getting paid for it.
And I think as well, it's like the relaxed approach that you have too. For example, I wanted to take my son to sports day, and in other roles you'd have to take half a day's leave, you'd have to have it authorised months in advance, but life doesn't always work like that. So just that, I think for me, knowing that as long as the work is done, you've got that flexibility that, you have got a life outside work, you might have to pick kids up or whatever. So that also helps keep your staff engaged, because you do have your other life too.
And we mentioned that, I think it was with Marilyn in a video a few weeks ago, and I said, I'm pretty sure I said that life outside of work is my priority, and therefore it should be everybody else's number one priority as well. So using that sports day example, how can I take time off to go to my 3 kids' sports day and say to you, well, Louise, you did take a half day's holiday or a day's holiday or whatever. I can't be the biggest hypocrite in the world to do that.
I think it goes even further than that, because there is a real feel at Phase 3, and from you, and I think we've all learned that, that the people do come first, and things happen in your life. We've had people with severe illnesses in the team, we've had somebody just said now that they're pregnant, we've had people who need to leave for whatever reason. There is always a family first feel to Phase 3, and I think that's something that every business could learn from. The thank yous come throughout the team from top to bottom. And, you know, in terms of reward, we do the things that we have to. So you pay a salary, you get a pension scheme, you get holidays. And employee benefits for small companies weren't that accessible anymore. We've started with employee benefits now, and that's a big deal for us because we already have so much. But I mean, an interesting one is around holidays, and there are lots of companies these days that are advertising unlimited holidays. And you know, it's something that we've been asked about. Would we consider doing that? And it's a really strange one to think about.
I get it. I get why they're doing it to attract the right person and the right kind of culture fit, and you can take as many holidays as you want as long as you get your work done. I get that, but maybe if I was 20 years old and I'd look at that and I think that's, you know, I've got an organisation offering me unlimited leave, and I've got an organisation offering me, you know, 20 days a year. Maybe I'd swing more towards that at that time of my life. But I just think things that aren't policy for me, which are more important. You know, there's someone just coming and saying, oh, listen, I just need to, you know, my granddad's not well, I just need to get off for 2 hours earlier. Rubbish example, but you know what I mean. That's the kind of stuff that you don't really have a policy about.
No.
And
but you do in other organisations.
But you do.
And the 20 days might not feel a lot, but when you take 20 days, plus you can go to the dentist, the doctors, antenatal classes, whenever you want, and not have to take holidays, go to kids' sport days, school plays.
Absolutely.
Christmas party days are always off. You know, when you look at how much flexibility you have, that's the biggest benefit. So don't necessarily just look and say 20 days unlimited, because 20 days actually isn't 20 days.
And I do think now it's changing as well. If you look at kind of the majority of new organisations now, startups, things like that, there are much more kind of flexible organisations and much more flexible policies in place. You know, but I guess comparing it to an old school kind of archaic company that's been around for 70, 80 years, you know, maybe they couldn't employ. Maybe you couldn't have a, you know, unlimited holiday leave package if you've got, you know, 10,000 people, because someone's going to take the mickey.
Exactly.
You know, what does that mean? Unlimited, does that actually mean unlimited? If I wanted the whole year off, you know, take the whole year off. I know that wouldn't happen, but it's just...
It'd have to be managed.
So I think look wider than and I think you guys in particular, coming from, James, you come from public sector, where, you know, annual leave was probably quite a bit, and we are flexible, aren't they?
I came from having 36 days leave plus 15 days flexi a year.
Really?
Yeah. To what we get here.
We must have done a good job there in recruiting you. My God.
Yeah, but it's interesting, you know, when you consider that. Now, I could never take that much leave because you were too busy to do that. So again, you have to look on the face of it. But the flexibility we have and the flexibility you offer, and little things make a big difference. I know our apprentice, for example, did a little bit of extra work than really what is expected of them, and they were going on holiday, and you bought them a book about where they were going, a visitor's guide to Amsterdam and some euros to go with, things like that.
You don't need a visitor's guide to Amsterdam if you're an apprentice. To avoid. Really. Well,
little personal touches like that make a big difference to reward.
I guess the trick is keeping that in place and managing that as you grow. I think you could probably do it up to maybe 100 employees, maybe 150. Maybe there's companies out there that, tell me if I'm totally wrong on this, you know, you're a 200, 300, 500,000 man band, and you have that kind of level of flexibility. I just think, looking at I think that would be difficult to implement and manage moving forward.
I think you have given us as managers of people autonomy to maintain that and to allow that flexibility and you know, even just to approve the spend on things like that. So the personal touch necessarily doesn't have to come from you. It's the fact that the company is recognising. But the month-end newsletter that we do, it's only a small thing. But if something needs to be recognised and rewarded, it's always mentioned. It's little things like having a shout out in that make a big difference.
Okay, good. Hope you enjoyed this week's video, guys. And we will all be back, hopefully, with Kate as well, next week. So see you then.